Welcome to this fourth and normally last tutorial on how to set up your own Open WebUI instance. So here we'll talk about how to set up users, groups, role, permissions, all the admin side of it. So first, what we need is simply the admin settings. So as an admin, you have here to go into settings and then go into admin panel. Then you have several windows that you can use. Here, this is another view of all the users. Right now, there's on me. A simple way to add users is simply clicking here the plus. Then we can enter the name of a user we want to add. His name, email, and a password. If- Okay, this is because I used dummy password. If you want also to add several users at the same time, you do a CSV import. So simply need to create a CSV file depending on this template that you can download here, and then you can simply fill it in and add it here. And then you can have several users at the same time. If you want, you can also with a click change the status of a user between pending user and admin. Pending is simply someone that will would not be able to connect. Then, I mean, OpenWebUI will recognize that it's a user, but it won't let it log in. I'll show you later. And if you want, also, you can change the status of the person you create here directly as pending user or admin. So this is the basis of our administration system. One other thing is you want to give someone different permission depending on who they are. Uh, Only admin user is not enough for a role. If you have several models and you want some people in your company to access one model and another group to access only another model, you can do that in groups. So groups is simply you create a group name, you can add in description if you don't know what it's about, and then with a simple click you can add users here. Because you're an admin, you're part of all groups, so of course you won't be shown here. And here you can change the permissions. So the easiest thing would be to read after what all those settings means. It would take a bit of time, but it's better if you want to really do extensive stuff about it. And to delete someone from a group, you can just go in the group and then click once again to add a member. So with this, if you're in a group, in a certain group, you will only have some permissions. But if you see here in different permission, it gives access, the general ones, and maybe you want to restrict the access to some models. For that, you simply go into settings, models, and then you choose the models you want to limit access to. By default, model is created private. So only the admins should see the model. You can make it public, so anyone with an access to your Open WebUI instance can use it. Or you can select groups. You can use it, either read or write different type of permissions. Then you always have to save and update. There are other parameters that you can change if you want. Um, but here we'll only cover the basic. So with that, all my models are private by default because I haven't changed anything. Only one was added to group. So we can see that if, sorry, if I um, if I disconnect, I sign out, and then I try to enter as the user I just created, I sign in, I'm logged in, and then I only have access to the Nathan model. But you could see beforehand that as an admin, I had access to several other models. we can now come back to admin panel to see all the settings that we can edit as an admin. It's very good. So once you get users, groups, all those permissions made with the models, you might want to tune in the side a bit with other permissions. So here, there's some general settings. If you want to, for example, you have a LDAP server that you want to connect, because you don't want to enter all the users by hand and you already have a user base, you can use that. You can simply enable it and then enter all the necessary information. Um, then there are also other things that you can do. Um, for example, you can change the default user role. So, for example, if you don't need people to be pending, you can make people users once they connect, so you don't have to change by hand anyone. That's when you have low security. You want low security. And also, you can enable or disable new signups. That means if someone has access to the address, whether or not they can create an account by themselves. So if you enable it, that means anyone with the address, if of course your instance is linked to the public network, anyone with the address can just go there and create an account. Of course, depending on the user role, it'll be pending or user or admin if you made it, so they will have permissions based on that. Here you can manage all the connections, so it would be mainly for OpenAI, pipelines, or Llama. Here, so you can see all the models. You can enable or disable them. If you don't want anyone to use a model for a certain while, you can simply disable them, or it's not working yet. Then there are many tools. The best thing is to simply look through them once. I only gave you the most important one. Maybe another one here is a pipeline. So here you can choose the pipelines that you install and you can modify the valves there. Um, so that's one thing. If you need to change the API key, you want to change some names, some endpoints, you can do that from here. And this is where you do it mostly. And also, as an admin, you can manage functions. So that means mostly pipe functions, like here, destination pipe, and other functions. So that's it for the administration. What you can do mostly with user management, permissions management, some general settings, and how to handle the models and the pipelines quite quickly. The best thing, as I've said, is using if if you have specific needs, is going through the documentation, testing by yourselves, looking through the many things that you can do, and it, it would be too long to make an extensive explanation of all this. This is most general settings, the one you need to set up your own instance with some basic security and some basic permission management.